Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. Today we can see continuous sideways movement. Bitcoin has reclaimed the 43.3k, the level that we talked about in the previous video. It did lose it temporarily, it has reclaimed it, but failed to make a higher high. So we continue to take a look at that. And Cardano also continuing to climb a little bit higher, but lost an ascending trend line. So we take a look at that. Bitcoin here still, in my view, in the wave 4, nothing has changed so far. Still in my target area, still possible in the current scenario, after which I expect another sell-off below 28.7k. This is still the primary view. Yeah, Bitcoin has still a chance to move all the way up to 46.5. Only if it moves above that, then we can talk about the alternative scenario. Otherwise, it will also be confusing. But just to briefly summarize, if we move above this level, then I think we are going to have a scenario where Bitcoin will move higher. It could move all the way up to maybe around 65k. That would actually be my original expectation after the sell-off. Yeah, we did talk about this scenario when Bitcoin first dropped significantly on the 4th of December, but that did not, that didn't come into fruition yet. Maybe it will do now, which means it's still a corrective pattern, but we have a chance in this correction to move a little bit higher. So it's a specific wave count as per the Elliott Wave method that will then become live. So we're going to take a look at that. In my view, again, this would not be a move to new all-time highs. But in the current scenario here, Bitcoin also has a chance to move a little bit higher to 46.5k. And what we need to see here on the chart is that Bitcoin is doing a triangle, and it's in a symmetrical triangle. So you can see that here after Bitcoin moved all the way up to 45.5k yesterday. This is, by the way, the level it needs to break now first. This is the next resistance level. It came down here, made this head and shoulders, broke it, found support on the 50-day moving average that is sitting here at 42 and 42.8k. Moved up, failed to make a higher high, and also didn't make a lower low. So it's forming a triangle, and we're moving into the apex. And at some point today, in this current pattern, there should be a breakout. Yeah, the breakout pattern, typically what you say, target of that, depending on where it's going, you take the height of the triangle, and should we have a breakout to the upside, that would take us exactly here or very close to the 46.5k level that I talked about. Yeah, to the downside, it would take us very close to the next support level at 40.5k. So it's really interesting. Sideways moves at the moment, so the price isn't moving a lot. Again, volume getting squeezed a bit, price getting squeezed, and typically when there is a breakout out of a triangle, you can expect a bit of a move. Yeah, because it's like a spring that is squeezed, which is then released. So that is what we can see here. Uncertainty, and also uncertainty here, for example, on the 1 hour chart, it's basically moving sideways. Yeah. Generally, the indicators, they do allow further continuation to the upside. I did say that. That is why I also have this alternative scenario where we could move in another wave up, but not to all-time highs. I don't think the structure looks bullish enough for that, and also the longer term indicators wouldn't support that really. Yeah, for example, the monthly MACD would not support new all-time highs from here. I'm very much doubting that. Here on the daily chart, there is still further room for growth. So the price could certainly move above the 70 line. It did that in the past. It can move all the way up to 80, maybe even 90. Yeah, so therefore there is further room for growth, but I still have to, at the moment, stay with my primary forecast that we move again into this area down here. So it will remain a very interesting day, or will become a very interesting day, because we could see a breakout out of that triangle. Cardano following Bitcoin at the moment, but as we saw on the ADA BTC chart, I'm going to open it once more. We can see that ADA is outperforming Bitcoin a little bit because it's moving on this ascending trend line. So if I make that a little bit larger here, then you can see here this ascending trend line. You might remember it. We talked about it, and it basically indicates that, yeah, Cardano is outperforming Bitcoin a little bit. Not too much. I mean, we had a bit of a pump here around the 15th of January, 17th. Now that dropped off, but we're still sort of moving up here a little bit. After the downtrend, ADA is now following Bitcoin, which is good. Therefore, I think we're not forming really a triangle here. ADA is just forming a little bit of a W bottom, and maybe can reclaim that ascending trend line. Still waiting for that 130 level to be reached. That was the breakout level of that triangle here that we talked about. And we did take here the price target of the triangle, added it to the breakout point, and that could or should take us to 130. But as I always say, bear in mind, these price targets of triangles and everything, these technical targets, just purely based on shape, they sometimes don't work out, so take them with a pinch of salt. Next level for Cardano to move to the upside is it needs to break here the current resistance at 118, 118.5. That is what it needs to do, this ascending trend line. And then we've got the 50-day moving average here at 124. These are the two next key resistance levels. Generally, ADA looking not too bad compared to Bitcoin. We also had here on the MACD, we had the bullish cross play out, so there is further room to move higher. And what is good to see actually is that on the daily RSI, you can see that here, we are back in the bullish range. So throughout the whole correction here since September, Cardano had problems to move above this 50 level. It did that a few times. It was always a fake out. So let's see how this is playing out this time. It certainly did move above it. And it's lost the trend line though. It lost the ascending trend line. So really interesting to see what it's doing now. If it's just retesting this trend line, and then if it does that, it will drop down. The thing is, it did retest it once and made a higher low. So it seems like it might have found support. And we need to look here at, possibly have to use, because if you use these trend lines on different time frames, you see different closing candles, right? So if I use it here on the hourly, it actually shows that it did reclaim the trend line already. So maybe I'll leave it for that for now. Seems more likely for me now because after it moved up here, it didn't make suddenly a sell-off. So basically it moved higher, making a high low. So I'll leave it like that. Looks like it is back above this ascending trend line. So yeah, at the moment, just generally need to be a bit patient here with Cardano and Bitcoin. Especially Bitcoin will determine, I think, in the next few hours how the journey goes along. And everything is still possible here in the current scenario, wave 4. So primarily, I would still, also for Cardano, expect the next move down, which could take Cardano to the 92-cent level here, that red support line. If Bitcoin does another sell-off, I think that's very likely. And I think if Bitcoin gets into my target area below 28.7K, then I could see Cardano also move into the area between 55 and 30 cents. All right, hopefully you liked the update about Bitcoin and Cardano. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And see you in the next video. Bye-bye.